Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Just showing you a super quick and easy way to clean a Glock. You can do this with any Glock of any caliber, any model, that sort of thing. And a lot of other striker fire polymer guns as well that are very similar. So we've got our Glock 43 here. Just gonna go ahead, take that out of the holster, drop the magazine, there's nothing in the mag, and clear the chamber here. So there's nothing in the chamber. Now this thing doesn't need like a super deep cleaning, but I am going to be just taking it apart and giving it a good scrub down and then lubing it up a little bit. So I've got all my tools on the table here. Got my brush. This is just a regular wire brush here. You can use one of these or a soft bristle if you want to. Got my microfiber towel there. It's kind of dirty, but whatever. And then for cleaner, I use Shooter Lube, really good stuff. I think it's a great product and for a fair price as well. There's a lot of guys out there that swear by this stuff. I think you can get away with some Remy oil every now and then if you just want a quick, oil down, but if you're doing a proper cleaning, definitely go with Shooter Lube. But yeah, so you can go ahead and get the magazine out of the way and go ahead and bring that down. To take down a Glock, for those of you who don't know, you obviously check that the chamber's clear. Go ahead, decompress that trigger. Some guys like to go like this and just pull it back a little bit, and then slide it off like that. I don't know. I've always been the guy that, puts my thumb up on the. Maybe it's not the safest practice, but I don't know. I do it that way, and that's the way I've always done it. So, so we have our slide in our frame. You can see that in the frame, there's a little bit of grit down in there, so we got to spray that down. And I think this guy's had maybe 150 rounds through it since its last cleaning. Go ahead and take that guide rod out with the spring. So that thing's not too bad, but put that on our towel, take our barrel out, and the barrel actually doesn't need much at all. There's literally nothing down in there as far as grit or soot. The slide could use a little bit of help though. So first things first, I'm just gonna go ahead and spray our parts down, let that solvent kind of soak in there, get the barrel, throw some down the barrel too as well. Of course I got some on my hand. You don't really need that much. I kind of went a little excessive. I think probably 2 to 3 squirts is good. But so we'll go ahead and just give that, a minute, let that kind of set in there. Alright guys, now that our solvent has kind of sat for a minute, we're going to go ahead and take our wire brush. This is really, really easy stuff. You just kind of go in through here. Make sure you're getting, where there's going to be moving parts. Or metal. I mean, that's what you're really looking after. Just kind of scrub that stuff down. You can work at it for, a minute. You can work at it for 5 minutes. Hell, you can even work at it for 10 minutes if you really wanted to get nitty gritty with it. But this is simple stuff for those of you who, don't want to go and clean your guns because you think it's a huge chore. It's really, really not. You just go and scrub that stuff down. Just give it a nice scrub to get all that grit and soot off of there that might be really caked on. Like I said, this gun wasn't even really that bad. Just loosen all that stuff up. Try to get down in the crevices where those moving parts are going to have contact against other moving parts. On the slide, you really want to get on the inside of the rails because that's where it gets pretty gunked up for sure. For you car guys out there, you guys probably know this stuff pretty well because it's another machine, I mean, machines need to be maintained and they need to be, lubricated and oiled, and that's how you keep a machine in good maintenance, or, maintain a good machine. So, you can go ahead and just take another shop towel here. Just kind of, now that we've gone through and loosened all that up, you can kind of see what we're picking up out of the gun itself. Just go ahead and give that a nice wipe down. Try to stick your nail down in there, or you can use a pick if you want to be, you know, A+. I just use my fingernail and kind of go on the inside of the rails. You want to move to a clean spot on your towel so that way you know how much dirt and grit is coming off of the gun in that spot, how much more you got to go with it. So go ahead and flip our towel over, move on to the frame, just kind of wipe down that stuff there, get down into the firing controls here on the frame. If you guys wanted to, you could also stick something down up into the mag well, just kind of, you know, rub that out too so you get good contact when you're doing reloads and all that. Sometimes some gunk gets down into the mag well. Again, you can spend as much time or as little time on this, just as long as you clean it up a little bit. Glocks are pretty good about not requiring a whole too lot of maintenance. I mean, they're pretty resilient. Alright guys, so now that we have cleaned out all the gunk and soot out of the gun, we're going to go ahead and take our oil here, and we're just going to run it down the rails. So take your slide, you know, put the muzzle side of it facing towards the ground, and just kind of angle it here. Put a little bit of drop in there on each side. Just kind of let that oil run down those inner rails there. If we can stand that up, that'd be great. There we go. And then I like to put a drop or two on the spring. Just kind of let that soak on in there. And as far as the barrel's going to have contact with the slide, and you can, you know, slap another drop or two once you assemble the slide back onto the frame here. We'll go ahead and just put a drop there and a little bit there. Put some down into the trigger assembly a little bit. With this stuff, less is more. You don't got to go and coat it. I mean, this whole bottle, I mean, you can see kind of, I'm not even really like a quarter of the way through it yet. Well, maybe I am, but I mean, I bought this a year ago, and it's lasted me a long time so far, and believe me, I clean guns fairly routinely. But okay, so now we're going to go ahead and just take our slide, throw our barrel back in there, spring and guide rod, and throw that back up on the rails here, and we are pretty much all done. You can kind of tell the difference. It's not as gritty from when we were first cocking it. It's very smooth. You can tell that lubricant is really doing its job. And just wipe down the slide a little bit with your microfiber towel, just to get it all kind of distributed. And there we are. Cleaning is complete. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If this video was helpful for you, go ahead, toss a thumbs up on it, and subscribe to the channel for further content. Thanks a million. You guys stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy out there.